So you want to be a professional photographer, but you've got no idea how to start. Well, it's very simple. So hang around and I'll tell you exactly how to do it. Roll that intro. What's up YouTube? Jonathan here from iShoot Images, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to become a professional photographer, or more specifically, how to become a paid photographer. It's very, very simple. Now, I was never given this advice. I worked it out on my own. It's advice that photographers, for some reason, don't give to other photographers. I don't know, it's almost like we're trying to protect our own industry. Can I have some advice? What kind of advice? I want to be a photographer, a professional photographer. No, just keep studying. What the fuck? So you want to be a professional photographer? Wrong. You are a photographer. The minute you call yourself a photographer, you are one. Get yourself some business cards printed up, hand them around to everyone that you know. I probably shouldn't show them the back of a card with my number on it. Hello, is this Jonathan? I don't like your videos. Really? Well, how about you go off and get Tell them, I'm a photographer. The first way to become a photographer is to tell yourself and other people that you are one. That's how I made my start. People would say to me, what do you do? And I'd tell them, I'm a photographer. Don't just say you want to be something, because if you want to be something, you'll always want to be something. Own it. I'm a photographer. Practice it now. Go to the mirror. I'm a photographer. I'm a photographer. Now I know for a little while it's going to sound like a bit of a lie, because right now you're not one. But that doesn't matter. There is one secret to becoming a paid professional photographer, whether you want to do this casually, part-time, or full-time. Specialize in something. Let me tell you that again, because you might have not heard that properly. Specialize in something. When you specialize in something, your world opens up. Now there are so many different things photographers can take photographs of. Think of it, there's weddings, cars, houses, portraits, pets, babies, travel. There is almost a never-ending list of things that you can take photographs of. So if people say to you, what do you do? And you go, I'm a photographer. Oh, fantastic. What type of things do you do? And I can take pictures of food, and I can take pictures of polar bears, and I can take pictures of teddy bears. Okay. If somebody says to you, hey, what do you do? And you say, I'm a photographer. Oh, what sort of photography? Well, I do staff portraits. You specialize in something. If you specialize in a certain area of photography, become very good at that. And I guarantee you, the better you become, the better you'll be, and the better your chances will be of breaking into the industry and making money. I know people who have studied photography for years, doing 3 or 4 or 5 year courses, and they try to break into the industry and they find it so hard. Why? Because they try to do everything rather than just choosing 1 or 2 things at most, 1 preferably. I've been a professional photographer since 2008. When I got into photography, I was actually working professionally in TV, camera assisting on the news, which I was really getting over. And photography back then was just a hobby, but I wanted it to become a career. So I started to do things like parties. And I fell down the trap of telling everyone, hey, I'm a photographer and I can do parties and I can do cars and I can do friends and portraits. And you know what? I never got anywhere. I didn't get any work at all. And if I did, it was fleeting moments here and there, and I wasn't making a lot of money. And then one day I decided to specialize in a certain aspect of photography. And for me, it was real estate. So I learned everything I could about real estate. Now the ironic thing is, no one was teaching real estate photography. I had to go off and learn it all myself. So I took pictures of mum and dad's house, my girlfriend's house, friends' houses, whatever I could, just to build up what I thought was a really decent portfolio of real estate work. Where I live in Melbourne, Australia, there's actually several large companies that specialize in real estate photography. So I took my portfolio to one of them, showed them my photographs, and they said to me, listen, you're a really nice guy, loads of energy, but your angles aren't right. So listen, come back and see us in 9 months, because we need somebody who's ready to go right now. I was gutted. Angles? What do you mean, angles? I mean, these are angles, aren't they? I had no idea. But that didn't stop me from wanting to pursue it. I didn't give up. Now, I acknowledge that there was no one out there who was prepared to teach me, because they wanted somebody who was ready to go right now. And I didn't personally know any real estate photographers. What I did is I went onto the internet and I looked at all the different real estate photographs I could find. I got all the agency books and I flipped through them to see how the photographs were taken. And I tried to emulate how those pictures were taken. 9 months later, I went back to that first company I saw the very first time, showed them my new portfolio, and they said, you know what, you've really developed, we love your portfolio, you're definitely experienced now, you can start in a month. And I did that for years. I didn't get into it by accident. I decided to specialize. Now, after I became good at that, I started to teach myself other things and slowly break into other areas. But the way that I broke into becoming a professional, full-time photographer that got paid a lot of money every single week to take photographs, I specialized in one aspect of photography. So if you want to make money out of photography, I urge you to do the same thing. Specialize in something. Now you're probably sitting there thinking to yourself, well, what could I take photographs of? Well, here's my other piece of advice. Pick something that you're actually interested in. If you're interested in cars, learn that. If you're interested in portraits, learn that. If you're interested in weddings, God help you, learn that. Now, I wouldn't recommend you start with weddings because they can be quite complicated and there is a lot of high stress in that particular job. But if you're passionate about weddings, there's nothing stopping you from learning. Get some friends together, get some models together, do some fake bride and groom photographs. Do whatever you can to build up your experience and create a portfolio. Because what's going to happen is the more you do, the better you'll get. You'll become known as the person who specializes in wedding photography or transport photography or portrait photography, but specialize in something. I've trained many photographers over the years, from people who are just starting out to people who are more hobby photographers. Every single one of them who has actually specialized in something and stuck at it is now a professional working photographer. And you can do exactly the same thing. So I urge you, specialize. So what do you do now? Start to make a list of everything that you are interested in. Go out there, make an exhaustive list, and pick the best one or maybe two things in that list that you love the most. And then go out there and specialize. And have fun with this. Photography is fun. If it's not fun, don't do it. I take photographs of weddings and I don't like it. Well, why did you choose weddings, you moron? Seriously, when you're doing something that you love and you're actually interested in and you specialize in that, the work doesn't feel like work and you're being paid to take pictures. It's amazing. The best advice I was ever given in my entire life was fake it till you make it. Now, I wasn't given that advice with photography, but I have since learned that that advice can apply to anything in life. Fake it till you make it. No one knows this is your first paid gig unless you tell them. No one knows this is the first time you've used outside lighting sources unless you've told them. Fake it till you make it. It is one of the best pieces of advice you could ever receive in your life, and it covers so many areas. And here's the best thing. One of these days, when you are either a semi-professional or a professional photographer getting paid every day or every week to take photographs, it is such an amazing feeling knowing that the camera that you've got in your hands equals money in your bank account. There is no better feeling. There you go, guys. I hope you found this video useful and very informative. Please feel free to give me a comment below. I'll definitely read them and answer any questions you may have. Click that subscribe button, turn your notifications on, and give this video a nice big thumbs up. And I'll see you in the next video. Out!